Alright guys, welcome back to another recap. I gotta be a little bit quiet because my wife is doing some stuff on the other room. But, decent green day today, but I left a lot of money on the table as you guys can see from the thumbnail. I am up $500 and $511 on my Thinkorswim account, so everything that goes into my trader view is only for my Thinkorswim account, and then I do have a shorting account open, which I'm also going to go over that short. And then show you guys that chart. Now, before I get into recap, I need you guys to go down to the comments and tell me who is going to win the game here in about 30 minutes. Is it going to be Argentina with Messi or Croatia gets the win? Croatia's barely gotten the win on PKs shootouts because their keeper keeps saving them. So, is it going to be Messi or is it going to be Croatia? You guys comment down below. Now, if you guys are new to my recap channel, to my YouTube channel, my recaps, I try to do these every day. I go over every single trade that I took this morning, why I took them, and all that stuff. And then I also trade live. So if you guys want to see me trade live every single day, actually, this is going to be the last week I trade live, and then I'm going to go on vacation for the last 2 weeks of the year, just kind of a year of vacation for myself. And then the last week, I'm not going to be home and just going to be trading by myself. But this week, I still going to trade live every single morning, completely free, right here on YouTube. And then starting next year, I'm also going to be continuing to stream live every single morning. So I'm going to go over my trades. Let me go ahead and do this so you guys can see. So Tesla, I'm up $140 on Tesla, but I definitely botched this trade a lot. Kind of found a double bottom here this morning, and then tried making a push back up to VWAP. And at that point, I thought, this big rejection. So I'm going to go ahead and take those trades out. You can see them right there. I shorted, covered, and then added short, and then covered. So let me go ahead and remove them. And then I think I had a tiny scalp down here, and I'll show you guys that in a second as well. So kind of double bottom here off the morning open, and then tried pushing up to VWAP. It felt really heavy. Could not get over VWAP. Tried once, two, three, four times there, and then this red candle right here, pretty aggressive selling. As soon as I saw that red candle with that big move and decent volume, at that point I thought, I don't think this is going to keep going up. I think Tesla's going to keep going down today. We had a giant gap up to start off the day on almost everything was giant gap up. So I thought it's either we hold it and keep running, or we come back down, close the gap on a lot of these things, and basically sell off that whole move. So I attacked one here. I went short 100 shares. I actually was in a little early. I was looking for this thing to kind of pull back a little bit, kind of still shows buyers, hey, there might be some hope here, and then boom, slam back down. But it was so heavy, I barely got to add here short. Got my move in my favor, so I covered fully out of new low day, and then on these two candles up, I went short. I added 200 shares short. It's not a big move for me to scale in a lot, but I went short on those two candles there. And this is where I just absolutely messed up. It pulled down a little bit, and I had 200 shares, and I think I covered 50 there. And then this candle kind of tried climbing all the way back up. It literally almost went green, and at that point I was like, oh frick. I think I ended up fully getting out in that candle or the next one. I literally was like, I don't like that, and I fully got out of that trade. 150 shares short. So there's no way I would have had any shares left for 156. There's no way I would have had shares for 160 probably. But I bet I could have caught most of this move, and maybe by any chance I could have left 50 shares running, 10, 20 shares running for maybe most of this, and I would have been like, oh, this is a little bottoming out here, this might be the low, take my shares out there. But I didn't even do that. I literally got in, got out right here, and I made 140 bucks, but I left. If I would have kept half of that through here, it could have been $1,000 extra. Something I need to work on. I don't see this continuation often in penny stocks, which is why I get my 10 cents, 20 cents. And with the large gaps, I need to be a little bit more patient, and it happened twice today. So that's why I said I missed on a lot of profit. Anyway, so I missed that, shorted at the right spot. Followed was perfect. Maybe would have been fully out by here, but. And then at this point, I didn't see any clean entries unless I was chasing. Like, there wasn't, after here, there wasn't a pullback. After here, there wasn't a pullback. There wasn't even retest of downtrend breaks. Like, there wasn't a retest there. There wasn't a retest here. There wasn't a retest here either. It just kind of popped up and then just sold. So it was it was in my mind kind of hard to trade unless you chased it and kept a tight stop loss. Because I mean, if you would have chased it here at this breakout, this thing could have easily turned back on you. You know, you kind of chasing here, and there's no clean entry, and then boom, reverses on you. So that was that trade. Somebody this morning called out MRNA, Moderna. And I looked at it briefly this morning, and I called out a trade, and I was like, if it flags over any of these two lines right here, I'm going to go ahead and go long on this one up to $200. And somebody ended up taking these trades with me on live. Let me go ahead and show my trades again. I ended up literally buying that pullback perfectly, and just like Tesla, I mean, I nailed this 188.45, so I got in. I mean, I guess a little bit high, but that's the pivot that I wanted to hold. It held it. I'm in. I went long all the way up to new high of day. I ended up getting my shares out, and then I think I put a stop loss somewhere around here. And I was like, no, I'm too busy doing this. I gotta watch something else. Like, I don't want to leave this here. And I completely sold it all again. I sold all the 50 shares running, which, you know, again, 50 shares from, I sold them at 192.40. Let's just say that's 192, 196, 198, 190, 496, 98, 200. That's an extra $8 a share times 50, you know. Even went all the way up to 208. So that's an extra $10 a share. No, 8. Almost $16 a share that I missed out on. So again, a good trade. Good runners would have paid off. Missed it. Absolutely missed it. Even if I still, well, I wouldn't have had any still. Yeah, I probably would have been fully out by here, but you know, you never know. You never know. I just sold way too early. This is the trade that put me up on the day pretty nicely, because I mean, right off the bat, I was up $900 on the day, and I think that's why I was like, I'm gonna take my profit, get a decent green already to start the day. So I'm gonna jump in and take it out and get $300 on the day. So unfortunate there. Tesla was the other trade, and then as far as my other trades today on this account, I traded OPGN to the long side. So let me go ahead and show you guys that. I made $70, which the majority of it was I guess this one here. So this one here, I quick little scalp, just high day breakout. I think I made $50 on that one. I think I came back and I made $10 here. So I went, so I went from like 50 to $60 profit here. This is just a quick scalp. I was actually short on my other account, and I'll show you guys that. I actually shorted. No, I didn't short there. No, I did. Okay. So never mind. I'll explain in a second. I'll explain the other one. I was actually short like somewhere around here. Or yeah, somewhere around here. I was in profit, got stopped out, and then I re-hit it short. But on this one, you know, if people shorted this pop here and this was starting to squeeze, I ended up chasing it there. Thought we could get a high day breakout. This one had a tiny bit more room to the 200 moving average, which was 47 cents, and at that point I thought we could break 50. So I played it here. I think on this trade I was up another almost $100. I was up like $50 on the trade, and I was up another 100, so I was almost up 150. But I was being patient. I didn't sell anything on that high of candle there. I actually ended up selling back down here when it rejected, and so I made like an extra 10, $15 there. So I went up to $60 profit, and then I made $8 profit here. That is it on my long account. I traded OPGN, Tesla, and MRNA. So I made $500 off of those. And then on my shorting account, so I'm going to go ahead and take this out here. I ended up shorting, let me see. I'll show you guys the chart, but it's a lot easier, I think, when I show you guys on here. So I ended up shorting this one. I located shares on this one, and I was sitting with them on my inventory for a while. I hadn't placed a trade yet, but I ended up shorting it on this pop here, this one, and this one. So I averaged up. I was in profit pretty nicely here, and then as soon as this thing popped back up, I ended up getting squeezed, so I actually stopped out for a loss the first time, and then this thing rejected very hard. Kind of had a trend line here as well on the day. So let me go ahead and move this up here. Kind of was still uptrending like that, and so once it rejected hard and broke this uptrend, once it started getting on the backside, I was like, I have to try this again, and so I ended up using the same shares. I hit it here again, full size now. So one time hit, I jumped in full size there. I covered here. I went back in there. So I covered a little bit, didn't cover all of it. I went back in here, added the shares that I covered there. I kind of had a few sells here, kind of iffy, and then I ended up covering here, there, and then I actually fat fingered it. I meant to cover a portion there, and I actually ended up taking out the full quantity that I had remaining, and so I was fully out by this candle here, which so far it looks like I didn't miss much else. Ended up popping back a little bit, but you know, it's still early. We still got, I don't know what, 2 hours, 3 hours till market close, so this thing could end up pulling back, maybe fading really nicely, and I accidentally ended up fully covering all my shares. But here is that chart for you guys. So I sold here. I averaged up, was in profit pretty good here. Ended up getting squeezed out, and then that's when I re-hit it again full size. Covered some, very nice cover there. Added back those shares there, kind of covered them right away, and then I was in here, covered some, and then fat fingered full cover there. Didn't fat finger it. Just whenever you sell on DAS platform, it kind of resets the shares to the amount of shares you have left. And so I thought I was covering a portion of it when it had already switched back to the amount that I had in total. And so when I clicked sell, it sold the whole thing, which is okay. I'm green on that account, green on this trade, obviously. So I'm happy with that. Let me go ahead and delete these. Control Z. Easy way to delete lines, guys. Anyways, if you guys like this recap, I know it's kind of a quick one. Tesla is the only really thing I traded. MRNA was the only thing I traded. OPGN kind of short, mostly on the short side. But you know, $500 today. I'm glad with 500 bucks plus my profit on the shorting account. But good trading overall, guys. If you guys like this recap, make sure you guys hit the thumbs up. Like I said earlier, this is my last week streaming live. Probably doing recaps last week until the end of the year. I'll see you guys next year, but still be here for the rest of this week. You guys comment any questions you guys have, anything at all. And I will see you guys tomorrow on the live stream. You guys take care and have a good rest of your day.